We talk now to, he's a legend. His music has carried South Africa through some of its most defining moments, and we are talking here about the days of struggle to the celebration of freedom. Sipho Hotstix Mabuse has done it all. He's an institution. He's a saxophonist, drummer, composer, cultural icon. And this December, he joins an extraordinary lineup for the Mayibuye iAfrika concert, the Rebirth of Ubuntu, a one-night celebration of who we are, where we've been, and what we're still dreaming to become. Sipho Hotstix Mabuse joining me in studio. What a pleasure on a rainy Friday. I never thought I could drag you out from, I believe you were performing very recently in Namibia.
Yes, it was an incredible, I don't even know how to describe it. Those people are just saying, please come back. Mm-hmm. So, when people want you to come back, it means that you've done an exceptional good job.
And was that a preview to what we're likely to experience?
Well, we'll do better this time. Yes, most definitely. Most definitely.
So what were you dishing out for them that...
Well, what's important is that don't underestimate what people, appreciate. And for some strange reason, I was feeling a little uncomfortable with some of the new stuff that I was going to do. But I was amazed at the way they responded to the music. And of course, they'll always want these popular songs that, when you start playing, everybody just starts screaming. And it's like, you pop star, It gives that pop star feeling of yesteryear.
You do invite that, Sipho. I've been to many a Joy of Jazz concerts where we've seen each other hooked up. In fact, I was speaking about that moment recently, but I want to focus on just that and how you bring it to the new generation, how they get to experience Sipho Hotstix Mabuse and this concept of Mayibuye iAfrika concert.
It's a privilege, actually. I'm so grateful to have met him, or he met me.
Mm-hmm. So well, when you say let's introduce
Billy Munama. Billy Munama and I have worked for so many years, and we've done exceptionally well together. And as a young person, I think he's catalyst. He's central to everything that I do as a musician, and I've just been grateful that our working together has borne fruit. Mm-hmm. And it's important that the relationship and we continue on the trajectory of what he has created. The Mayibuye concept is a concept that is unbelievable. What Billy has done is almost like a great promoter, but he is a musician. A promoter brings out all the great talents out of this country. I've been to some of the shows where I have not performed, and I've seen some of the artists that have performed in that show. And for him to consider bringing some of his colleagues, some of his colleagues who are of his generation onto that stage, and people make those kind of performances, it's just incredible. And I am, talking about privilege, I was probably one of the first artists to be on the concept.
All right,
and the concept has just grown in leaps and bounds.
Let's bring in Billy to talk about that then. So what was your concept of it? And I'm just thinking, when you say, to you, your understanding, Mayibuye iAfrika, Mayibuye ini, because for you, young generation, there's not too much to look on. That's your own personal experience.
We want to recall the music of those who came before us, and those are Africans. We want to celebrate the history, the memory, and the heritage and the culture. And we believe that we are the custodians of those who came before us. Miriam Makeba left in 1959 to Venice, Italy, with a project called Come Back Africa. And that project Africa, it is Mayibuye Africa. So the Mayibuye Africa, it became an ideological concept, for emancipation, politically. But now I want to bring it closer to the music. I want us to recall that music that emancipated the people, and so that we can keep that legacy. Because now, when for practically every time we do an event and then I call Sipho, we keep that music alive, because they get to get paid royalties. There's an activation that happens. Even last time I had Soul Brothers, they had about 8,000 streams in that week, because of the engagement with the media and so forth, is to keep that legacy alive.
And I'm going to come back to the lineup and the concept behind it in just a minute. So for you, Sipho, what are you remembering? Because memory is a big part of...
It's a weapon.
Exactly. So
yes.
And creating new memories is also important, to inculcate not only a culture of appreciation, but empower young people to create memories that they want to then pass on
Absolutely,
to the next generation.
Absolutely. There's a saying, I'm currently reading a book. It's a very interesting book to say, if you don't know where you come from, you'll never find the right path to where you're going. You must first know where you come from, and then you chart your path to where you're going. And this whole music is about reminding ourselves of who we are and what this music means to us. Sometimes we tend to get lost, and then we get caught up in fallacies, where we think because those who had always imposed the mentality of thinking that we're inferior always would want us to do what they believe is theirs. So we can interact some of the stuff with them, but what is critical is, who are we? What are we saying to the young people who are coming behind us? If you've been all over the world, the first thing that the people want to know is, where are you from? And through the music, through the food, through all the clothing and everything, the colors, everything is colorful about us. So it's very important that when we go onto that stage, we reflect on who we are.
So let's talk about the lineup. Sipho says you had him there initially, and he says it's grown in leaps and bounds. So tell us a little bit more about who's going to be on that, and what type of music offering did you have in mind when you're thinking of that moniker of Mayibuye Africa coming?
Yeah. So we are very meticulous about the lineup, the people that we choose for. We choose conscious singers, people who have a lyric that it has a meaning to the people. We want the artist to be the representative of the people. We want the music that speaks with the social problems of the people. And that is why when I choose an artist, I'm like, Langa, you're gonna do Lucky Dube, a tribute to Lucky Dube. And for people to see Langa doing that, they have never imagined it, because there's a lyric in Lucky Dube's song. It says the cat and the dog, they've forgiven each other.
Yes.
And then we're in Reconciliation Month. So I conceptualize it according to the historical month that we are in. The one that we finished doing, it was in June, and in June we tailor-made it according to the youth of 1976. So Julie Sipuma, she will be doing Letambuli. So what gets you on the lineup, it is for you to say, yes, I will be able to do this tribute, because we're paying tribute, and also we want the musicians to sing their favorite songs that the people they love. Zoe Mudicha, she comes and sing, Busim Flongo. People, they were like, what is this? And I have seen Piwe is going to be doing Miriam Makeba, and so forth. So now we have a storytelling. So now from the 1960s, the musicians who were executed by Fervurt, we're talking about, those ones. Yeah. So now it comes from the choral. When we open the show with the national anthem. So that we want to bring that spirit of unity.
But I'm also seeing a We Are the World type of.
Absolutely, it was
Setup.
inspired by that kind of a thing. That if these people they can do it, we can do it too.
Sipho, so who would play you? Who would make a tribute to
I'm playing
you?
myself.
No,
No, I know, but I'm just thinking, if following on from that, how
Yeah.
would you? Who would it be absolutely crazy to, make a tribute for you, but that would still make sense of the young musicians?
Of the young musicians, to be honest, Tsepi, I get approached by a number of young people. One of the things that I always ask him, what is it that you're going to make about me? You'd have to play all the instruments as well to be able to do everything that I do. You have to play the flute, you have to play the saxophone, you have to sing, you have to play the drums. So which one of you? Perhaps I should actually audition. That's actually an interesting idea.
I hope I get my royalties.
Maybe I should start auditioning people who can play Hotstix, guys, play. You must play all those instruments to be able to do the show. So I was saying to Billy, okay, that you have your guys who are playing the musical instrument. What is it that you want me to do? In most cases, yes, I've played the instruments that he wants me to, to play, and he's got some exceptional musicians as well, in the brass lines. So with the kind of music that he chooses, it doesn't deviate exactly from who I am. It's the music that people have known me for. And
who is Sipho Hotstix Mabuse to Sipho Hotstix Mabuse when you think about your legacy? There's a particular way that you would look back on the work that you've done, how you believe you'd be received, and what you intend to put out.
Well, your question is quite loaded, if I may say, because one can never perfectly articulate oneself. I've always tried to find out exactly who am I. I've always find myself evolving through times. I believe I'm an inventive person. I don't subscribe to the notion of be comfortable in the space that you are in, and then so this is why a lot of people are always saying, okay, how have you managed to stay in for 56 years and you continuously remain relevant? I always say, well, I try to be as inventive as possible. I don't like to feel in a comfortable space. I've made these hits, so perhaps this is what I should look for. As a creative person, be honest with who you are. Create things that you feel so that people can. You may not necessarily sell as millions of records, but ultimately people must respect you for being a creative
for
person.
your craft.
Yes.
Billy, very briefly, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, well, I mean, for him to stay relevant and all that, I think he's one of musicians that I know him personally for many years, and is easy to work with. It's it's not about talent only. You get other musicians to work with of his generation. You will wish that never happened. And with him, it's easy. Look, we crossed rivers and oceans to be here in this rainy time. Someone like him, someone differently, it will be
ethic.
Yeah, with ethic, yes.
All right, we're going to end it there. But if I could just steal 30 seconds of Shayla's time. Sipho, is there a song that people have interpreted to mean something else than what you intended it to be? Of your work, of your body of work?
I've done so much work, Tsepi, that people don't even know the amount of music that I've made, And I'm just grateful that people always respond and always try to record and perform Burnout.
That's what I. That's what I.
They all come and rearrange that song in a different way.
I must thank you both, Sipho Hotstix Mabuse and Bilu Nama. That brings the time to 10 o'clock. This is it for Africa World Hour.
On the 6th of December, by the way, you forgot to tell them the date.
I actually did at the beginning, but I will do that again. So the Mayibuye Africa on the 6th of December, where?
In the Pretoria State Theatre.
There you go.
Yeah.